I felt completely behind on AI. Then, in one single weekend, I built something that quietly changed how I make money, and I almost didn't try. Here's what nobody really tells you about AI right now. The people getting ahead aren't the ones who know 50 tools, they're the ones who built one system that keeps working after they log off. I didn't get that for months. I kept collecting tools like they were badges, bookmarking threads, saving prompts, watching tutorial after tutorial, and I was still doing the exact same work, the exact same hours, every single day. Picture my old Tuesday morning, coffee in hand, laptop open, 40 tabs of businesses I might want as clients. I'd spend 2 hours just finding leads, scrolling websites, checking if they even needed what I was selling, copying names into a spreadsheet. By the time I finished, half my morning was gone, and I hadn't made a single dollar yet. That was the real problem. Not that I lacked ideas, not that I lacked hustle. I was spending my most valuable hours on work that didn't actually require me. Then I found AI agents. Not some futuristic robot, something much simpler. A digital employee that never sleeps, never gets bored, and repeats the exact same task, day after day, without ever getting tired. Most people think AI agents are complicated. They picture code, servers, some engineer typing in the dark. That's not what changed things for me. What changed things was realizing an agent isn't magic. It's a system with one job, clear instructions, and permission to run without me watching it. That's the whole shift. And I get why that sounds too simple to be true. I was skeptical too. I'd already watched a dozen videos promising some overnight transformation. This isn't that. It's slower and it's smaller. It's also the only thing that actually stuck. Before I built anything, I needed a filter, because not everything is worth automating. So I asked myself one blunt question first. If this task vanished tomorrow, would my business even notice? That question became 4 questions. I call it the cash test. C. Can it be repeated? If it only happens once, skip it. A. Does it add value? Would someone actually pay for this result, or is it just busy work that feels productive? S. Can it save hours? Real hours, ones you'd notice missing from your week. H. Can it happen without me? Can it keep producing value while I'm asleep, at the gym, or just living my life? I ran my lead research through it, repeated every single day. Yes. Clients pay for qualified leads. Yes. It was eating 2 hours a morning. Yes. And it didn't need my personal judgment, just clear rules. Yes. 4 for 4. That's when I knew this wasn't just a task to automate. This was the bottleneck worth building around. So that weekend, I built it using something I now call the build method. Nothing technical. B is for bottleneck. Don't automate random busy work. Find the one task quietly draining your best hours. For me, it was lead research. For you, it might be answering the same client questions or writing the same proposal every week. Money hides inside bottlenecks. Find yours first. U is for useful outcome. This is where most people get it backwards. They try to build an AI agent. Wrong goal. You don't sell an agent. You sell an outcome. I didn't need something that used AI. I needed a list of qualified leads sitting in my inbox by 8 a.m. So that became the target, not the tool. The result? I is for instructions. This part surprised me the most. I didn't need a clever prompt. I needed clear rules. The same rules I'd give a new employee on their first day. What counts as a good lead? What to skip? What information to pull? Vague instructions get vague results, whether you're talking to a person or a system, which is exactly where the next 2 steps collide. L and D go together, and I learned why the hard way. My first instinct was one giant agent that did everything: research, outreach, follow-up, scheduling. I built it that way, then scrapped it 2 days later. One narrow agent that finds and qualifies leads will always beat one giant agent trying to do 5 jobs badly. Small and specific wins. That's the limit. But even narrowed down, it still broke on me. Saturday night, I let it run its first real batch. No supervision, just to see what would happen. Sunday morning, I opened the list feeling proud of myself. Then I saw it. One qualified lead was a plumbing company. I don't sell anything a plumbing company would ever need. Somewhere in its research, it had matched on the wrong keyword and waved it through like a win. For about 10 seconds, the old doubt crept back in. Maybe this whole thing was smarter in theory than in practice. Then I looked closer, and the fix was almost embarrassing. My instructions never told it what to avoid, only what to look for. One sentence closed the gap, and that's when it actually hit me. The lead wasn't the problem. My instructions were. The agent hadn't failed. It had just done exactly what I told it, and I'd never told it enough. An AI agent doesn't expose what it doesn't know. It exposes what you never bothered to write down. That's the real reason Delegate comes last. Trust isn't something you hand over on day one, not to a new hire, and not to a system. After the plumbing company, I reviewed everything for the rest of that week before I let a single lead go out unchecked. Then I moved to approving instead of rewriting. Full autonomy only came after 2 solid weeks of watching it get things right, again and again. By Sunday night, that weekend project was quietly running. Monday morning, I didn't open 40 tabs. I opened a list, already researched, already qualified, sitting there waiting for me. I went from 2 hours finding leads to 10 minutes reviewing them. That's 90 minutes back, every single day that I could spend talking to clients, closing work, or just living my life. The system didn't make me money by itself, but it bought back the hours I needed to go make it myself. I didn't replace my work. It removed the work that was never worth my time in the first place. If you want your own version of this by next weekend, here's honestly where I'd start. Not with a tool, with a question. What's the one task quietly eating your best hours right now? Not marketing, not admin, the actual task, the one you could describe in a single sentence. Run it through the cache test before you touch a single tool. Repeated, valuable, time-saving, able to run without you. If it fails even one of those, it's not your bottleneck. Keep looking, then pick one simple AI tool and write it instructions the way you'd write them for a new hire on day one. Expect it to get something wrong at first. That's not failure. That's just week 1. Review everything before you trust it with anything real. That's it. Not 50 tools, not a certification. One bottleneck, one system, and permission to let it be a little broken before it gets good. Here's what I wish someone had told me 8 months ago. You don't win with AI by knowing the most. You win by building the least, the smallest possible system that keeps producing value after you've stopped working on it. That's not a technology shift. That's a leverage shift. And leverage is the only thing that's ever made anyone money while they slept. I didn't miss AI. I was just measuring the wrong thing. I thought falling behind meant not knowing enough tools. Turns out, falling behind just means not having one system working while you're not. That plumbing company is still on my mind. Not as a mistake, but as proof. Every system worth having gets a little broken before it gets good. Mine did. Yours will too. That weekend didn't make me an AI expert. It made me an hour richer, every single day since.